Joseph here with Translogistics. Today we are going to be going over the tracking module within Viewpoint 2.0. The tracking module is very useful as far as modules go in that it provides us the tracking updates for our shipments currently in transit. So if we want to access our schedule shipment module for creating a bill of lading and routing of shipment, we would click on the schedule shipment module. If we want to get a quick quote, we click on that right here. If we want to access our tracking information, we click on the tracking module available right here, okay? And this is actually where we'll be defaulted upon logging into the system at vp.translogisticsinc.com. Okay, so first things first, moving left from right here, this toggle will just shrink the left side of the options there for our modules, so we have more screen space here. To the right, we actually also have the ability of changing our physical location. So if you're trying to find tracking information and you have multiple addresses, all shipping freight through Translogistics, multiple locations of yours, you're going to want to click on an individuated location if you only want to see that tracking information, or if you want to see the tracking information for all associated companies or all associated locations of your company, you want to be at the top level here, okay? In the integrated search function, we can just type in any reference numbers associated to a shipment in transit. I'll give an example of that in a couple seconds here. Again, here we have the map, so we can change up from a map to a satellite view. If we wanted to drill in, we could actually change it to the satellite view and see the physical locations and their addresses, and we can simply toggle by moving the scroll, the middle of your mouse, the scroll button on your mouse. In addition to that, we have the tracking map view that we see here. We also have the ability of making this an Excel pivot table function as well. Again, more on that in just a moment. In addition to that, we have our ability of changing the date range right here and setting it to only see shipments associated within a specific date range. We can also filter it quickly for just seeing shipments that are currently active, shipments that have actually had delivery completed, or shipments that were just quoted and not routed. Similarly, how we always hit refresh in our web browser if we ever need to refresh the tab, we can refresh this as well by simply clicking on the refresh button right here. In addition, there are more filters available on the right side of the screen. So if we click on this filter icon, we're then able to check out our expedited shipments, for example, or maybe if we're in purchasing and we're really concerned about our inbound freight and what will be bumping against the docks inbound, we could filter just by our inbound freight as well here. So there are a lot of filters available, so we can quickly go through our information and just see the information that's going to be pertinent for what we're looking for, okay? If we actually need to drill into a specific shipment too, it's as simple as clicking on that shipment and then pulling up all the information associated with that shipment. So for example, if we click on that shipment, we're going to see the origin address, the destination address. This is demo data, of course. We have our reference numbers associated, the carrier, the costs associated to the carrier, any special instructions, what the special accessorial services are on it, the commodity. In addition to that though, we also have this actions tab, which is very useful. So we could send our operations team an instant message, for example, if we needed an update on this. This is hot, please provide update, for example. This will actually send a message then to our operations team to inquire into the shipment. We can also tag that shipment with additional updates as well by adding an email address here. And then as the carriers are updating their website, it'll send whoever's email address is in here those updates, be it your fellow coworker, you yourself, or maybe the customer themselves, since it was important enough for them to inquire about it. Maybe they'd like all the additional updates as it moves throughout its transit. In addition, if we had to reprint out some information available, we could do that right here. And then over here on the history tab as well, we're going to get status updates as well as the carrier updates its transit journey. All the updates that you would typically see on the carrier's website, those will be updated in here as well for you. So you've got all your shipments with all your modes, with all your carriers consolidated in just one spot for you here. Obviously, this is a demo shipment, so we see the tender was rejected here. So that is the tracking through the map. Now, if we were to track using the integrated search, for example, it's as simple as just putting in a reference number, and we're going to see essentially the same exact thing that we just saw on the map icon. just a bigger version of that. Moving left to right here, we can scroll through that. We're going to go back to the tracking module now. And this time, I want to just sink our teeth into the actual tracking grid. That format that we were talking about for that is more of the Excel pivot table style. So if we click on that grid view, we actually are going to see the ability of having our freight filtered here by whatever tabs that we want it filtered by. So for example, I've dragged the status tab up and dropped it here. So my shipments are sorted by which ones are actually booked, and then underneath that, which ones are booked by carrier. If I wanted to click on one, then again, I just click on that shipment and it's going to take me exactly to where I was. And then from here, I can send out my actions tabs or whatnot. And this information can be filtered any which way you want. So maybe instead of by status of quoted, delivered, in transit, booked, invoiced, whatever, maybe we just want it sorted by carrier, okay? And we just want to see a filter by carriers. And what's great too is, again, your same filters are available here. Date ranges, delivered, quoted, active. We can change it associated by mode type. Maybe we just want to filter by truckloads and LTL freight and then have it subbed out by carrier. We have that flexibility. And once you make a filter, you can save your filters by simply clicking this plus sign. You update your filter name, it's saved in there. And then the next time you need to access it, you click on this down box and then you're able to access all your filters. So maybe you just want to see filters of shipments that are in transit. Well, then we just need to click on the in transit filter. Okay, and it'll only show us shipments that have the status of in transit here. Or maybe we just want to see shipments that are saved quotes, okay? And they're just quoted shipments. We just simply need to click on that, and then we can access that. And if we needed to change our filters, we simply click on this red icon and it will clear our filter out. If we need to edit our filters, in addition to just dragging up the statuses, we can click on the 3 lines next to it. We can change the sorting of ascending or descending. We can change the columns here and add certain columns. We could also filter this so we could see ones that are just pending or ones that are additional statuses as well besides pending. Maybe we want to see shipments that are delivered and pending, for example, or maybe we just want to see shipments that are in transit. Again, we simply need to click on this 3 icons here, and then we're able to jump right into that. And that is the tracking module, very high level here. Wonderful module, very useful for keeping an eye on a lot of shipments that are moving through your networks. And I appreciate every shipment that you route through Translogistics. It's an honor to work with you. And again, this is Joseph with Translogistics. Thanks.